check, mic check.
Hello. Hello. Hi, everybody. Welcome
Hello.
to Academy Voices Live. My name is Anthony.
And I'm Angela.
Yes, you are. And we're voice actors with headphones.
He
Anyway,
is hating the headphones for some reason. I don't know why.
don't like the headphones.
He's so dramatic.
I'm always been very dramatic. Very dramatic. Overly dramatic, but it's good to see you, and it's good to see everybody. Welcome. This is
Welcome.
Thursday, so of course we talk about Academy Voices and all that jazz. There's so much actually to talk about a whole bunch of things. We've got a lot going on, and so much going on in the audiobook industry and the author industry right now. That there's a lot to unpack there too. So if you're coming in, say hello. Make sure you hit that like button. Like. Share. Do all that jazz.
Do all the YouTubey things.
All the YouTubey things, and and say hello. Tell us where you're from. Ooh, we got Gene is from Oregon. Hello, John's here. So, all right. So first off, let's Angela, I just want to talk real quick about the progression of Academy Voices, the website. So I am very pleased to announce to everybody that the base of the website's done.
Yay.
So it is completed, which is very exciting. And so basically what we have now is the entirety of the website, the public pages are done. And then we have a narrator portal now. We have an author
Sweet.
portal.
Sweet.
We have an admin portal and a publisher portal, which those admin and publisher portals will be on the admin side. That those will be for like Angela, Gabby, and myself. But we have all separate portals. And in those portals, you will be able to do every single thing that you need to do, from your profiles to finding projects and auditioning, signing contracts, viewing your reports, checking your audio, it's all up and running and working. So that
Wow.
is very exciting.
Wow.
And yes, it has been a lot of work.
Well, I mean, at the rate that you're going, are you sleeping at all?
No, that's probably why I was sick. I don't
No.
feel very good. But and a part of me though is, so let me tell you why I've been going like gangbusters here too. Not only do I want to do this, but a big thing that's on my mind about this, of course, and this is kind of why I held out ironically for so long, even though it's worse now, is the transition, right? Because at some point we all have to transition into the new website. And because of that transition, it's going, there's a lot, because people have accounts, people have things, and I need to make that, I want to make it to where we're also on Kajabi, so there's DNS records, there's so much stuff that has to happen on the transition. And we have 400 and I don't know, 20, 30, 400. We're growing. Now we're starting to grow at adding new people, multiple people every day.
So it's a good thing that you started now then.
Well, that's what I'm
Yeah.
saying is every single day I'm like, crap, I need to go, because more and more people, not this bad thing, but I figured out how to transition us over so that no one has to stop and start their accounts.
Oh, good.
So the system, well, for VOJ, people who are in VO Journey Academy, it doesn't matter. You'll get a code. And what's really cool is I built in the system that at any point, once you have that code from us, you just type in the code in the login, and that creates your new account your account for that. So it's just a code that I built in for that very purpose. And I can change the code within the system so that, it can change every couple of months so that, someone can't share that code or something. So that's a really cool thing. But if you have a paid account, right, then there's a way when you log in, Stripe has a way for it to automatically find your account. So I built that in, but PayPal unfortunately doesn't. They can, but they don't have a search option for that. So it will be one of those things. You'll go into like a pending folder, and I will So when the transition period happens, because that's just the transition, that doesn't
Yeah.
normally happen when you just if you're brand new and you sign up for the account, none of that matters. But it's just
Right.
the transitioning people over. I just have to go in and manually take the account and put the ID into their back end. You know what I mean, for PayPal.
Yeah.
But that's just the transition part. So the transition part is a big deal because there's a lot there. So
Yeah.
but anyways, right now though, I'm in the phase of going. I just ran the first test last night from beginning to almost. I got to the end from when an author comes in, they submit a project, the project goes to the board, they offer a contract to a narrator. When they offer that contract, the first thing they sign the contracts within the system. The system pops up, share the contract. The author or the narrator goes to it. It creates, based off of the parameters I gave it, how long you have to narrate the audiobook, the contract. You accept that. Then we go to the first 15 minutes. You do that first 15 minutes and you submit it. It goes to the author. You approve it with notes, or not approve it. And then, then that once they approve that and they go through the system, because, we do charge a production fee. So the author takes care of that because we don't take anything from the narrator. So then that goes to them. Once they do that, that's all paid. Then the narrator starts uploading their files.
Wow.
I've worked into that to where if you name the file wrong and you upload it, it says, no, no, no. You need to rename your file. It's not right.
Please tell me it's like a little image of you doing that.
No.
Please put
That makes me think of the
please
guy
put
on
that in.
Jurassic Park.
That's exactly what
Wait,
popped
no,
into
no,
my head.
no, no, no.
You in an Elvis suit.
Elvis. No, I don't have that one built in, but now that you mention it, I should. But it does put up a nice thing saying that this doesn't look correct. Please change the heading. Yeah. So, and then of course we have our ACI, our checker. So you put in your work and it will also check if the file is done correctly, right? All the things there. And if it's not, it lets you know.
Sweet.
Yes.
That's fantastic. And you've gotten all of that done in the span of what? Just a couple of weeks.
Yeah. It's a lot.
It's
So
amazing.
right now what I'm doing is now I'm going through all of it bit by bit because when you're adding stuff, adding these tools for us. Part of this though, now I'm looking at it from the standpoint, okay, how does this look aesthetically to us? How does the workflow look? Is it cumbersome? Is it too difficult to understand? I mean, like we could build a starship here. I mean, I got time. So like it just
Don't do that.
yeah, but don't tell people that. But the thing is that we need to also make sure, I would like to make sure that when people join and they're a part of the site, it's not overly difficult to
Yeah.
understand too.
Yeah.
And there's not 50 million things you have to do because
Yeah.
you can overdo it, I think.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
So I'm going through all this, and then there's the back end stuff. So like, how does all of that stuff then get to us? Because unfortunately, the one thing we will still, which I actually like, we will still manually publish the work. It won't be a direct publisher because we work with so many different people. We go through distributors, and that allows us to, but it also saves us from being stuck with one person or one group of people. We can do what we want with the audio, you know what I mean? But
Sweet.
the way I've built the website now, also in thinking forward, I've built it in a manner which will allow us to have an app one day to where we'll be able
Fantastic.
to, have our own Audible app.
Yep.
So that will be very,
amazing.
yes, that will be very exciting. So yeah, so that's where we are with that. So now I'm in the phase before we go test it live, because right now the testing is just local to my computer, so no one can see it but me, right? Well, when we go live, then there will be the live testing before the actual site goes live, right? So we got to
Yep.
test it, because then we got to test to make sure it all works.
You can
with
have
the-
our members, or ask our members to help you test it. I bet you they would.
Well, yes, absolutely, we could.
I bet you they
Absolutely.
would.
Absolutely. So that's where we are. So I'm thinking that, probably another month or so, month
Wow.
or two, depending on how, depending if I can keep up this pace. I would struggle. I kind of got the other day. I had to be like, I'm like sick. I got to stop for a moment because I was just overly. But you know me, when I get my head
I
going,
know.
I'm like, I don't stop.
I
It's
know.
bad. It's bad.
You're a fiend. But
And
let me just say that on behalf of myself, of course, and I'm sure everybody in the Academy and Avio's Journey, Academy Voices and Avio's Journey Academy, that we appreciate everything that you're doing.
thank you.
It's no easy task, and we appreciate you for taking the time and just building this like a madman. But we know that it was something that we needed to address, and I think
Yes.
our members are going to be the ease of use for our members and for our clients is going to be huge. The payoff for
Absolutely.
that is going to be huge.
Absolutely. And I think what this will also do for our voice actors is right now, and we've done, and trust me, like the three of us, and I've personally, I've tried my best with Kajabi to make some resemblance of an okay experience for authors, but it really is not in
Yeah.
our current format. And that's probably why we have so many issues with not getting as many authors as we could, because quite honestly, it's just
confusing.
very it's confusing, it's cumbersome,
Yeah.
because there's nothing we can't change the way the website currently is, right? So there's no way for like everything, so we can get an author to be able to submit their book, but after that everything is literally done through outside tools and
Yeah.
individual emails that we send. There is no, all the stuff I just said would be like, think about it, Angela, it would be revolutionary for us compared to what we do now.
Oh, 100%,
Absolutely different.
1,000%. I mean, even the fact that you got Kajabi and all of the outside sources to kind of, I mean, the choreography of all of those things working together still blows my mind how you were still able to do that and like kind of, I don't want to say MacGyver, but it's
It
essentially
really
what you
feels
did.
like we've duct taped it together.
But what you're doing now is going to be so awesome because that is definitely one thing people are looking for. Because as we know, as working voice actors and audiobook narrators, and then the academy and all the things, there's so many things that take our attention. And so ease of use on one singular platform is going to be huge for everyone involved.
Absolutely, and that kind of even leads into our next topic I think we're talking about today, and is because think about it. So we're voice actors and authors, indie authors especially, are dealing with a lot. We're dealing with
Oh
tons
my
of change today.
gosh. Yes.
One thing about it, so Find Away Voices went away. Those options now are no longer there for authors or narrators, really. There's still authors, still, but your work, like it's not on a platform anymore. You have to have your files, you got to have all of your stuff, and then they just distribute it for you, which they're wonderful distributors, but they don't handle all that other stuff. ACX is, we know we're living through this messed up change and thing that they're doing with their whole royalty and stuff program.
Terrible.
Right. And, and then on top of that, as of today, we're up to about 23% of all books that are being submitted are AI. And however, numbers say that back in 2023, 60% of readers said they were okay with AI books. That's gone down to 23% now.
Well, I
so
think
it
it's
is
just gotten worse, though, because
well, because there's so much slop is being produced.
Exactly. Because everybody's hopping on the social media get rich quick
Yes.
scheme, just pumping in a
Absolutely.
prompt into whichever,
Absolutely.
and just
Yeah. And so the reason why I bring that up though is because there's not actually a ton of options like that you have now at all for an author or narrator to connect. That also gives you more tools. There's really only one or two platforms out there that will be, well, ACX doesn't count because it doesn't, ACX only does to ACX. It only goes to Audible. You can't publish anywhere else. And then you are just stuck with ACX and Audible.
and the possibility of them removing it later because their AI bots determine that they use some sort of an AI checker or,
Right.
all the stuff that's going on. I mean, you have the possibility of it being taken down.
Right. And then you have, for example, Authors Republic, which we love. We use them as one of our distributors as well. But they are not human first.
Yeah.
They are, and again, that's
Well,
their business. I'm okay
They
with
couldn't
that.
possibly, with the amount of digital assets that come through there every day, they have to have. I mean, but, and I ran into this problem with Authors Republic, was it yesterday or the day before? Anyway, their bots were saying that there was an error with one of the files. I adjusted it to what they told me to. I'm not going to go in too far, but anyway, I reached out to them and said, "Hey, this is the issue." And then they said, "Okay, well, let's get a human involved," and fixed it right away without me having to make another adjustment. So it does. They use bots. I mean, it's the same with ACX. They use spot checkers.
Oh no. Well, and I don't mean, and I don't just mean that. I mean like they're not they're not. You can submit audio through them. That's AI.
Oh, I see what you mean.
Like they're not. We are human. Right, human first, right? Human certified.
You just have
right?
to disclose if it is or not, but
right, you do, but they don't. Like we don't. Like we're really
we don't.
one of the only places now that don't do, because I don't actually, at least that I've heard of, that is doing as much work as we are.
right.
So that's something that is very unique to us, I think, and that, and on top of that, right, we are very front. I've never seen anyone or know anybody from Authors Republic or ACX. I mean, I suppose, I've seen that they have a university, which, by the way, that's probably where, before I do anything, we're going to have to build a university, because we're going to have to.
Oh, how do we
people.
do that? I mean,
don't
we have a
know.
whole academy.
I know. Who know? I mean, where are we going to get one of those?
Oh, I know, right? What was I was just going to say, add something to that. Oh, because our mission statement is certified human. I mean, that's all we are. Everything that we do is certified human. Just to add on to what
Yes,
you just said.
right. And that is the thing that that separates us from everyone. And there's so many people you're seeing now rushing to get on that train. We're there. We are there. We've stayed there. We've started it. I think Susan had a question. So anyways, that's kind of the tie-in.
Squirrel.
Yeah, exactly. Right, squirrel. But because of that, Angela and I were chatting about some of the, things with the witch hunts too that are going on right now with AI, and I've started to subscribe and watch so much more like author content of what authors are doing, which makes sense, because authors are just as much now Academy Voices, clients as voice actors are. So just learning more about authors, and you think it's rough and odd. It's not rough. Trust me, it's not rough for us authors. That is a
Right
war.
now, it's, oh my
It
gosh.
is a war, like a vicious war that they're
Oh my
fighting,
gosh.
and they're fighting each other.
Yeah.
It's like a civil war in the authors right now, and it's hard. So I don't envy them, and I do have my own opinions, and I think that's my opinions are. I think Angela and I. The good thing about Angela and Gabby is like our opinion. We share we agree about what we're doing. I mean, you know what I mean, and I think that helps a lot. So, because God forbid we didn't agree, right? But I think in the end, AI is there. Like, for example, so how I built the ACX checker. There's got to be some tool that figures out how to go in there and look at the stuff. And I think the problem with AI now, or what we see, is AI was around a lot long. AI's been around for a lot longer than just this recently last couple of years.
Yeah.
What changed all of it was the advent of OpenAI, and you actually being able to talk to it in like a browser format. Before, it was just in systems and tools. Adobe Audition. AI's been a part of Adobe Audition for a long time. Right? How does it, for
Canva.
example, when you go to,
Everywhere.
like, think about it this way. When you go to spot heal a click manually, a voice noise click, that's AI, because what it does is you circle a little place where your click is, right? And you're in the spectral frequency display. Well, how does it do that? Well, it reads the rest of the audio around it and determines what is not supposed to be there compared to what is, and then it fills that in and removes that. That's artificial intelligence doing that. That's algorithms, right? So there's the level of it, I guess. We did have a question here. Susan said, question for Pika.
Pika. Pikachu.
Does all of the advancement on a VO's journey mean that membership pricing will exponentially rise for everyone? That's a really good question. And you know what? Until you said it, I never once thought about it. But I have now, Susan. No, I'm kidding. No, no, I didn't consider that, and that's not a part of any of this. I mean, yes, am I putting in a heck of a lot of work? Yes, will it be a million times better? Yes, but my hope is that will actually, because if it helps all of us, we'll all make more money anyways.
Yeah.
So I don't think at this moment there's no plans to raise pricing on anything. So it's just to try, because the reality is more authors mean we're all going to make more money. So, and more, right? So no, so there's no, now I will tell you this though, because you mentioned a VO's journey, and a VO's journey is our education school, our academy, right? VO Journey Academy, and Academy Voices is, the, publishing wing, the actual, where we go direct to consumers, right? And we're actually selling product, which is audiobooks. So those two are different. And I will tell you this though, after this experience, I'm thinking ahead. Like, I will rebuild the VO's Journey website, and it will come off of Kajabi. And because my goal is to be off of Kajabi in the next couple of years totally, so that we have our own stuff. And then
I like it.
we'll have our own app and all that jazz. But or a couple apps, because we'll need one for VO's Journey too. Because a lot of people have asked me about apps a bunch. Can I view it in my phone? It's very difficult. You can, but it's hard to go through your phone.
It's not really
it's
formatted
not really
that way.
Formatted that way at all.
Yeah.
So anyways, what is this? This is if we could get a certified human tag for our websites, that would be awesome too. Yeah. Joyce says there's something going on with the internet. I don't know.
So
sure.
everything looks good on my end.
So we were discussing the witch hunts, and I know you were thinking about that. What are some of the things that you're seeing about the witch hunts, and what are your opinions on them?
Oh my gosh, it's just I think generative AI in general. Specifically on TikTok. I'm not on Instagram a whole lot, but TikTok, a lot of our fellow narrators are there, so I try to catch them live and things. But anyway, what I catch on there is the whole AI checkers for authors, right? People are uploading their manuscripts into some sort of an AI checker, and it was proven that these checkers are not 100% correct 100% of the time. Doesn't sound like they're right most of the time. It's just
let alone
like
the irony. Let alone the irony of using AI to check whether it's AI is just.
Well, I know
to me.
that too, but someone had actually used Moby Dick, put Moby Dick in an AI checker, and the AI checker said that cumulatively it was like 44% AI written is what the checker said. So there's that. But the thing is that authors
Herman
are, like you said,
Melville's in
it's
trouble.
Civil War. Authors are getting on to other authors. Other people are just ne'er-do-wells who just want to troll people are starting to yell at authors and whether or not they used AI. I mean, it's a mess. I feel so bad for the author community right now. It's
I
just a
do too,
mess.
and I think just like anything else, sadly, and my backing up, it'll become a self-fulfilling prophecy.
Yeah.
Because if you know what I mean, like people will eventually do it just to spite other people.
That's what I mean. Yeah.
Because they're just so
just
mad
to be
at
heard.
people for and I think, but here's the thing. I think in the end, and this was a topic I was listening to on a podcast that these authors were talking about, was that, you think and it goes back to my stage days. I'll never forget, I used to do, stage, and I was I like to do work that was popular, like people, like for Christmas time, I'd like to do Christmas Carol. I like to do musicals people heard of. I like to do things that people want to come see and they enjoy. Right, that was just me. That was how I like to do stuff. So I was always my people always packed the houses. It was always a good thing. But then there's other people who are very like avant-garde, who want to push the envelope, and we need those people too. Mm-hmm. Like we need people to push the envelope that progresses us forward. We absolutely need that. However, typically the people who do that, they're not mainstream in the sense that it takes 100 years or it takes longer for people to catch up with it. So what happens is that you have people fighting with each other what should be literature, and what should be popular, right? And those two don't often mix. So what's happening in the community, right, is you people say, well, it's not written well, but if people, but if it's popular, what is where do you stand? Should it be well written, or should it be something that an audience actually wants to read? And I think in the end, AI or not, the audience is what matters for all of this. Without an audience, none of it matters.
Yeah.
So if an audience sadly wants to read AI, I mean, I hate to say it, but where are we going to, like, what are you going to do about it? Now, it's proven that majority of it, as we've seen the numbers, is slop and they don't want it. However, there are some books that are written with AI. The funny thing is, if you write a good book with AI, it takes you just as long or longer to write it than you would writing it yourself. Because because like, what are you using AI for? A research, you're using it to help you with grammar, right? Things that an editor would be that you would have to hire. Like this is what the battle that you're having. A lot of people who are for AI as a tool are like, why can't we, who can't afford an editor teams, researchers, marketers, we can't afford any of this.
Yeah.
Why do we just can't write then? We're just shit out of luck. Excuse my French.
Oh,
I just said
bad
that.
words.
I
Hey.
said that on YouTube. I never curse. Sorry.
my virgin ears. Well, there's also authors out there that are writing for the first time. They have a story to tell, and maybe they aren't the best writer in the world, and they use AI to help them put a little polish on it to make it make a little bit more sense. But the thing that I had just heard happened a day or two ago was that now Anthropic, and I think some of the others are going to follow suit, there's now a digital thumbprint, I am told, within Claude Code. So if you directly copy and paste from Claude, namely for now, I think, and then paste it into something, it's going to be automatically flagged wherever you're uploading it as AI. So that will help to cut down some of the,
And
the
that
mystery.
brought to the point of people like what a lot of some of these authors, which I totally agree with authors are saying, right? If people want to listen to AI or read AI, so be it. But the challenge is that most people are not disclosing they're using it.
Right.
Do you know
And
what I
that is
mean?
what this is for.
Right. And so what saying, like, if you disclose, listen, this is what I'm doing, and you let the cards fall where they will, so be it. But it's the people who aren't doing it because they generally are worried that people will now, but then they have a valid argument because they get like the shaming, the town square of shaming is a real
Yeah.
thing
Yeah.
online still, especially
Yeah.
in those rings. So, but if you, say this is what we're doing and be open about it, it is what it is, and people can take it or leave it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So, because I mean, I guarantee you guys, unless you are going to, well, it's fun. Actually, I don't know any place. I was going to say a library. Unfortunately, I don't know any place that's not using some sort of AI, guys.
Yeah.
In
It's
some
everywhere.
way to
It's everything.
organize to.
Yeah.
I mean, I was going to say go to a library and where to the shelves. I guarantee you they use AI to organize their stuff. I guarantee you. I mean, it is what it is. So we can't shy away from the tools. I love the tools, but I don't let it replace the art.
Yeah.
And I think that's where everybody has to make their own decision. Okay. A bit of housekeeping. John wants to get it out there. He says, I feel my responsibility asking Angela. She's getting my Discord DMs. I don't know any better way to ask. Sorry. Well, hey, you shot your shot. Yeah, it's a good time, John. Let's go for it.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I don't see your name in requests, unless you're a different. I'm not sure. I'm not sure, but keep in mind, with all the different platforms that we're on, there's comments and questions and contacts coming in from everywhere all day long. It's hard to stay on top of everything.
Now here's another. Oh, sorry. I was saying here's another thing
No,
about
you're
AI that I think is important that I like to talk about is, there was this idea introduced. What's ethical use of AI, in the sense of like for us too, like an ethical meaning, like something big was the that look. I use AI for lots of stuff. I know we all do, but there are certain things that I don't use AI in, like for example, sharing personal information, sharing things that that we keep private. I don't use AI to create voices. I don't do it. There's certain things that don't use AI with. But it's important. It's important to know that we do use AI for a lot of stuff too, as a society now. So I don't want to shy away from AI, but at the same time, we choose how we're going to use it, like our art. We choose to make that as certified human, and that's what our choice is. But I'm not angry. I don't know about you, Angela. I'm not angry at other people who choose to use AI for art. I have nothing wrong with that.
I guess it just depends on what the purpose is. I mean, I mean, if it's something to promote something, advertise something, and it's your own thing, and as a business owner, you don't have the capital or the time to invest in someone to make it for you, and you could just have something whipped up and thrown online. We've been doing that for years with Canva. So
That's a really good point. And what about templates? I
Hey,
mean,
templates
where do you stop and say, well, how was that template created? How is that, and what what I mean? Who knows what and if that art was generated by public art, like it's just such a slope that it becomes ridiculous trying to figure out who's wrong and who's right and all this stuff. So in the end, I think as long be open and honest, and if your audience loves what you're doing, so be it.
And I have to wonder if, because the AI witch hunt thing is a trending topic, if people are utilizing that just to get their own views, just to make something, some sort of stink about something, just so they get views. I have to wonder if that's not the case
And
too.
I will say that too, but I will also say too, what's interesting is that there is levels of AI, meaning like there is really crappy AI, and then there's stuff that people put a lot of time and effort and use
Yes.
it as a tool to create good products that they've used AI as a tool. And
Yeah.
I've seen it. So like you could just, for example, you go on TikTok and you can scroll around and you see people are using AI generated pictures everywhere. And it's AI generated and they look horrible. To me, I'm like, ugh, another pic. Like it just looks, oh, you did not spend
Full on
any time.
videos.
They did not
Full on
spend right.
videos.
They
You
did
could,
not
yeah.
spend any time making it good. But if you created something that was just creative and out of this world, and you used AI, is that bad? Right? But that's not what we see happening. I think that's what's pissing a lot of people off too. Some of it is,
Yeah.
right? I mean, like what movies are not created with some sort of AI these days? I mean, is CGI CGI? Is it AI? I mean, let's be honest, right? Like, you can argue all of these things to your blue in the face, but in the end, it's a tool, and are you going to use it to increase your art, your artistic? Like for example, like where do you begin? I mean, it's just so many. I have so many questions about it because it's like, if I have an idea, right, and my idea is this and that, and I use AI as a tool, is that good or bad? Who is the police on that?
Yeah.
Who determines what that is? To me,
The
determines
audience.
whether the audience does. Because if it sucks, the audience will tell you.
Yeah.
You know,
And that's ultimately, I think, the direction that AI voices are going. I think, and I mentioned this before, what's being overlooked, what I said on Tuesday is that AI voice is purely an economic decision.
yes,
It's because it's cheap, fast, and dirty,
yes,
but what people that are creating these are overlooking is the audience. I mean, who is it intended for? Is that person going to enjoy this, or just going to go, "Pfft, this is AI slop. Why are you giving me this? Hell no, I'm not going to buy that product or listen to this thing or go to that website or whatever."
Here's you want to hear an interesting study that was recently done by, I think it's Milblart or whatever, Self-Publishing Trends of 2026. Anyways, 78, they did about 78% of indie authors, they named discovery, not quality, is their biggest problem, right? Meaning like not quality of their work, it's discovery. And I think that's why I know people might squinch a little, but I think royalty share is actually our ace in the hole, because we're not going to be pricing on AI. I mean, like I went to that one that that AI audiobooks thing that big that we added in our chat. They were doing this. Did you see that?
Yeah.
I mean, they're charging like $10 for 5,000 words, something like 5,000 words. So 10 of that's be $20 per finished hour.
Yeah.
All right, and with unlimited amount of voices you could use. So we're not going to beat that 20 hours. But what it doesn't say is this will sell audiobooks.
Yeah.
People will buy this. Or, right, so like to me, royalty share is our opportunity to do what those authors were just talking about in that study, is that you can produce till you're blue in the face, but if an audience isn't listening and buying it or reading it, it doesn't matter one hell of beans. And you know what I mean? And that's where we come in, so, and I think a lot is going to shift too, is us becoming also more important. Angela's been a big advocate for this forever. And I want to get back on the train, but I've been so encompassed with the website, is that every narrator on our website, or that is on Academy Voices, that has published one or multiple audiobooks with us, you are sitting on your own gold mine. And the question is, are you mining it, or are you just letting it sit there? I'm trying to use this analogy, right? Meaning, like, are you promoting your audiobooks that you've done? Are you trying to sell more copies? Because your money for 20 years... 20 years, right, is our royalty share. We do 20 years. I did it on,
That's
for
insane.
a variety of reasons. One, I did that because I was pissed at ACX for only doing 7 years. A lot of the stuff I do is because I'm mad at how other people treat us. But anyways, right?
20 years of royalties potentially.
Right.
But you got to market
But you
it.
have to market. But if you did like 12 audiobooks with us, you can market. I mean, like, I go to people's websites. I don't see those audiobooks on their websites. I don't see them talking about on their social media. Some people do, yes, but not the vast majority of the people who publish it. It's like we just want to publish it and forget about it. I will say that's changed, you guys. There will be changes with AI. This is one thing that's changed. You have to take more, and that's going to be something that I think we can help educate people on. There's got to be more change. Like, the change is we have to take more responsibility of getting to the audience than we did before, right? Because if we don't, like, that's the one thing AI can never do. It won't ever do, guys, and that is what we're doing here. Is building an audience, building a relationship with each other and trust. And like that's not what an AI can do, unless they fool you with a person. But I mean, we're so far away from AI doing what we're doing right now. So I think that is a unique thing that we have the ability to do. Angela, how would you think, how many voice actors do you think that of the ones that are really kind of doing that, where they're marketing their work?
Oh my gosh. That I have personally seen, probably
Yeah.
less than a dozen.
That's crazy. I mean, just let that sink in, because we have 700 plus audiobooks. And I would say 90, probably more than 90% more don't talk or tell anybody that they make one post in our Discord or somewhere. They don't market their stuff at all.
Yeah.
And the money you make is directly reflective on how many people buy it. Now, you could argue I don't know how, but that becomes an excuse, right? I think. And but part of in my education hat, and I'm like, okay, well, we need to educate more on it.
I'm the same way. Every time somebody says I don't know how, well, let's figure it out.
And I think that will be one thing that we will, because a lot of places, what they don't offer is marketing help. Right? Because, like, how do you offer marketing help? And that's something we can do, but it will, but, that is something that we can offer as a service for Academy Voices. Because there are some things that work very well, especially right now, that we're doing. It's just, you have to have a head for. I mean, you've got to try. You've got to this is what I need to do. You're going to have to market your stuff. Doesn't just sell on its own. And I think that's where AI will never be able to stop, or never be able to take over, so, but yeah. So anyways, that was my thoughts, Angela. Any thoughts, any more on that?
No, I agree. I mean, let's just break it down really quick. So if one of our narrators wanted to promote their audiobook that they published through us in Academy Voices, what would be the easiest way to do that?
So first and foremost, you need to be on it needs to be on your website. There needs to be a place where you actually show these are the audiobooks I've done. Here's a link. First, just a hub. The first place to start. Right there, you probably eliminate the majority of voice actors who haven't done that. All right, I've done X amount. Here's the link to where you can go buy it or listen to it. Okay, that's first thing. Second thing is, right, we get on social media, let's just say TikTok. Okay, we'll just use TikTok for an example. And I'm telling you, and don't, this is, I was a staunch advocate against this for years. But I'm telling you, $5 or $10 to boost a post has been life-changing for Academy Voices and for us. Don't laugh at it. Laugh at me, because you should. Because for years I refused to do anything with ads. And the one time I tried ads, I tried to use Google Ads, and it was awful. All right? But I have started to create content. Like, for example, I'll say something like, check out this latest narrator that we have, right? That post, people are viewing it, they're liking it. And I'm like, oh, well, I'm going to boost that post. You don't have to pay. It's not $50, $100, $1,000. $5 or $10, you can get a couple thousand people to see
Wow.
that work. And if you think about it, guys, that changes everything for you, because now you go from, well, no one will ever see my work, to being able to get a real audience viewing your stuff. And it does mean one thing, though. We have to continue to look at our business as a business with a marketing budget. And I know people will say, I just don't have any extra money. That's baloney pants. It's $5.
Baloney pants.
No, I'm serious. But I felt the same way forever, because I was refusing to do it because I felt like it was just throwing money away.
I like organic. I like organic growth too. It just feels more personal and intimate to me instead of just kind of throwing. But I get it. I get it too. I mean, you're 100% right.
Because there will come a point, like Angela and I have spent our whole career online with organic growth.
Yeah.
We really have. But what I found is, and Angela can talk about this, we've had many meetings about this. There comes a point, even with organic growth, although Angela, you're doing very well, but unless you really become an influencer that's got that something that is really growing, and that's just not all of us. You're going to cap out. Because I capped out at a certain amount of people, of a circle. And it's very difficult to get out of that circle. Do you know what I mean? And we're always talking about, we need to get a broader audience. We need to get to a broader audience. We're just not being shown to a broader audience. Well, there are ways to be shown to a broader audience.
$5, apparently.
I mean, I'm serious. Like, it makes a world of a difference. And I've always been an advocate for, no, you don't need ads. But we're talking now about selling an audiobook, by the way.
Yeah.
Right? You're selling audiobooks, selling stuff like that. That's one way to do it. I think before that would be exactly what we're talking about. You got to talk about it. You got to post about it. You got to go on Facebook. Like, even if it's just to your friends to start. Look at the audiobook I did. I mean, I wonder how many people actually do that. Right? You know what I mean?
So what are some ideas that they could so you could download the book cover and then upload a piece of the retail sample. Yeah, of the actual post. Because a lot of people ask that. They just we always say post. Sure. They're like, well, how do I do that?
Here's a bunch that you can think about. One is literally, yes, a picture of the cover, and you say, I just published, this audiobook, right? Link in my bio if you want to listen to it. That's one post.
Or better yet, just really quick, you record yourself rereading a section of it and then have the cover like as an image in the image with you, and then that way they could see you're a real person. Here's the cover.
Well, that's what I was going to say. So
here's where to go.
The next thing is a green screen, right? Which allows you to basically, it's just in the app and TikTok. Basically, you hit a button, green screen. It asks you to pick a picture from your photos. That could be your, and then you're there in the screen with the audiobook in the back, and you can tell people about that you just published it. Also, you can do posts talking to people about interesting information about the author who wrote the audiobook, information about your journey, all right? Story details. Here's a quick little read from it, right? There's also things that you can compare, this book to something else, the audiobook you've done to something you read, a funny little thing that happened to you while you were doing it. There's a million and one posts you can make about it. And here's another thing too. Just because you make one post about I published it doesn't mean you should never make another post about I published it. People are so insistent, well, I made one post and 5 people saw it, so if I make another one like that, it's just going to be too much. Guys, there's no way you could ever post the same thing. Now, the websites won't let you, they will actually let you post the same thing over and over. You have to change it some. But you're never going to reach everyone to where someone says, God, I'm just so tired of seeing that same thing. You're just never going to do it. It's just never possible. So, that's something that you could, there's a bunch of posts right there you could make. Mm-hmm. That's like 5 or 6 or 7 right there.
Jules had a great question. Any thoughts on an AI-generated trailers for audiobooks?
What are your thoughts? I'll have thoughts, like I said earlier, about this. Go ahead.
I was just going to say it sort of just piggybacks on what we were just talking about, is using it as a tool. That's my personal opinion, but I'm sure some people will disagree.
This was my opinion. My opinion is if you brought an AI trailer to me for an audiobook and it was the best dang audiobook trailer I've ever seen in my life, and it looked really good, like it actually was legitimate, and then people are like, I want to listen to that audiobook because of that trailer, who cares? I'm putting it out there. Who cares? But you got to be careful, because if it could also have the reverse effect, that it's so bad and it's AI that it makes people like, oh my God, this is AI and it's horrible.
I guess it all depends on what you're doing with the video. But I mean, ultimately, it's your voice. You produced the book. You did the work. You're just using it as a promotional opportunity.
I've seen some people try to make like almost movie trailers.
Yeah, I've seen them too. And some of them are just amazing.
Yeah, they're incredible. They're incredible. Now, I'm not going to lie to you guys. I don't know. I've never made one of those, so I don't know where to begin.
Yeah,
I mean, there is some. I have a friend who he's a developer. My developer friend for 25 years, and he's got so much in developing with like Claude code, but with also video. Like he does his own apps and stuff that he just for his own personal use. And he makes these videos, these crazy videos, and they're fantastic, and they're just adorable. And he makes them all with AI videos. But he spends a lot of time working on perfecting them and stuff. And I could have never made a video. I mean, think about explainer videos. It's funny, explainer videos, those were made by an algorithm. Remember the cartoon explainer videos that we all did so much? What did people think somebody was drawing all that? No way.
Yeah, the whiteboard explainers.
Never. No, that was all pre-done stuff.
Yep.
But yeah, that so I guess what Angela said. Freddie says, hey there, I'm trying to become a full-time narrator. Congrats! Full-time voice actor. I feel like I can only work on one book at a time. How do you record multiple books in a month? Very, very interesting question.
I think that's really going to depend on how much time you have to dedicate to audiobook narration and how large the books are. Because it's not unheard of to take a month to do a singular audiobook if you're doing this kind of part-time. But, if you're full-time and you have the time and you have the capability to, you could probably knock out a couple of smaller ones in a month. But audiobooks are a marathon. They are not something that you want to push out quickly. Let them take the time that they need to take.
I agree with that. And I would say, too, that every individual will be different. Because, Freddie, I don't know, are you able to handle 3 books at a time and going back and forth from characters and different and not getting them intertwined? I don't know. Maybe you're that good. But I struggle with being because it'll bleed into the different work for me because, an audiobook, it's an in-depth process. So then the real answer then becomes, because I see this and I might also think about what I thought about is leverage. If you're trying to get more done.
Yep.
So that means that you have to get it done faster. And a lot of people don't want to hear it, but you should so what our numbers are, what we tell people, we're very lenient because, we're working it manually. Although that will change, something will change on the website because it will no longer be this, well, we didn't even get to the audiobook yet because, we've got 50 other ones right now. The website itself will monitor how long you take, and it will determine whether or not you're, no, you need to do it now. But thing is that you should be able to finish a finished hour in 3 days. I mean, really, you should be able to finish it in a day.
Mm-hmm.
But we have jobs, we have lives, and it can be, right? So we give 3 days, sometimes 4.
Okay, so you consider my curiosity piqued. What do you mean by like a timer?
So
Expand on that.
Yeah, so basically, it's very similar to ACX. So basically, nothing happens. Like your screen doesn't blow up on you or something. but it gives you a date that you have to be done by, and if you break that, you are in breach of contract. Which means that technically the author could be like, no, because part of our contract is once the author approves, even if it's royalty share, and you do the work, and if they try to quit on you, no. They're gonna have to. They're gonna have to pay you. We're voice. I'm a voice actor. We're voice actors. We're not gonna get screwed over because we put in all that work. That's one of my biggest gripes on ACX. We all know someone or been there in ourselves. So because of that, though, it has to go both ways, right? You can't. So if there's a contract and you've signed it and it says it has to be done. Now, if you agree with the author and message and say, look, I'm running a little behind, and they're like totally okay, that's fine.
Mm-hmm.
Because but there's got to be a date that you have to turn it in by as part of the contract.
Or
does that
if
make
the
sense?
Author in my case didn't approve the first 15 minutes for 2 weeks, it obviously the due date's going to be extended. But point is that you have to have those conversations.
You know what? That is a great note to check on the website on.
Yeah.
So I'm on the checking page. Like, does the website? That's a good one.
Yeah.
I gotta check and make sure that actually does it, because this is stuff that you build into with we think about, but you got to build it. You got to actually have the website do it. It doesn't just do it on its own.
Yeah.
Okay.
Send a reminder or something. Hey.
Yeah. What site do you use for ads? So when you say what site, so like currently,
what platform?
Yeah, I've become a real fan, honestly, of just TikTok and Instagram, and then through there you can literally do it. They've made it so easy, you guys. I will admit, even a few years ago, it felt like you had to be a rocket scientist to really run some of these ads, because you had to do all this crazy stuff. I mean, but now it's literally so simple. Because you can just literally hit a button in the app. It takes you to a page. It tells you, hey, what do you want to do? You want to spend this amount of money? How long do you want to do it for? You tell it. It looks at the audience that your stuff is showing, and it shows to those people. You press pay, and you're done. So it's super simple to do it in the app. You don't have to go on. You don't even have to do it on your computer. I actually find working on my phone easier because the apps are made for your phone.
Yeah.
Right. So that's.
And I think that option to boost pops up automatically. Almost in my case, it seems like it does every time you upload anything.
Yes, every time you upload, it says, "Do you want more people to see it?"
Yeah.
That's it. I mean, because remember, these these places are about you making money. Right.
Silence all notifications, sir. I mean, that's just rude.
I don't know. Who is that? I feel like I should know this person. That's probably somebody I should.
As
know.
I turn mine off.
I know, right? I got caught. I don't even know how to turn it off on this thing. Okay, here we go.
Spammer.
Any Hoosers. No, I think actually that's probably someone I should talk to, but they'll have to wait.
They're busy.
Because I'm live.
That's right.
So yeah, but when it comes to like a central, like a separate third party website, I don't use any third party. I go directly to, because I'm not running, like I run very specific. I'm not spending hundreds of thousands of dollars. But I will tell you this, with some of the growth we're experiencing, because remember, we're investors, right? So if you invest money and you make more money back from your investment, you should probably keep investing.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
If it's working.
Yeah. So, but that's what I do. I don't use YouTube now. I think there's an easy option now to run stuff on YouTube as well. Like you just go, because it's actually on your YouTube screen. You can go like promote or something, and it'll run it. But I don't know if I think you got to have an ads account. I'm not sure how all that works on YouTube anymore because I hate YouTube, even though I'm on YouTube right now.
Aggressive.
I know they've done me wrong, Angela. They've done me wrong.
I know. I know.
Let's see what Susan says. Those whiteboard videos are coming back, and they are perfect for marketing and promotion of a new audiobook. Absolutely, and they're all
There you
AI.
go.
I mean, they're all AI generated, and we don't have a problem with it because I think that it's very apparent of what it is. You know what I mean? I don't think there's anything wrong with it, but I do think that now that would be cool, Angela. Wouldn't it would be to have a way because we don't currently offer any sort of book trailers or audiobook trailers. Well, I'm like,
Not yet, but it was
Exactly.
definitely something that we touched on a couple of times. And I think adding a marketing section to
Yes.
Academy Voices is definitely something in the works for the future. Yeah, 100%.
there's no reason why we shouldn't do that.
Here goes Anthony. We won't see him for another week now.
But like again, part of it is like we have an army. We are an army together
We
of
are.
people who are we do voiceovers. We're ready. We're excited. We're willing to work. But they're like what we're trying to do in Academy Voices is build some of the bridges to some of the stuff that we don't have access to, that will allow us to produce the things we want to produce. You know what I mean? And I think that's because there's always as voice actors we've always kind of been just the talent with a voice, right? But I'm trying to build that gap to where we can be that talent with a voice but still be able to produce all these other things. Freddie's back at it. I've
Come to
completed.
Academy Voices, Freddie.
Is Freddie on Academy Voices? I hope you're on Academy Voices, Freddie. I've completed 14 books and I'm working on 15 through 17. Cool. I've been intermittently working on ACX for years, but this says this year I've been grinding. When should you sign up for Ahab? I don't like Ahab. And can I tell you why? Because every time I've tried to do Ahab or other people. Now, in all fairness, I've not done Ahab. Have you been on Ahab recently? I've not been on it recently, but the problem
No.
is Ahab is wonderful, nice people, right? We know it's Penguin. I think it's Penguin Random House Audio, right? But the problem is that it's still they cast it. It's not like we have projects every single day in which only going to grow. So you can audition for projects. There's no lack of projects to audition for. On Ahab, the problem has always been is there's not a lot because it goes and it still goes through them. So like they don't often pick. There's not much to audition for, I guess is what I'm saying. But
You're kind of limited.
you're very limited there. But again, it could be different now. So I could put my foot in my mouth if it's changed. But I think Ahab didn't take off because of that. They didn't solve that problem. They kept it very still limited and in-house. But they had a good idea. You could market the audiobooks that actors from Academy Voice Actors that might be tied to royalty share books. But that's exactly right.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's exactly right. I mean, you can market your own audiobooks. Because when someone gets an audiobook that you've done and you have rights to those royalties, you're going to make money from it.
It's just like ACX. If you do royalty share for ACX or for any other platform, if you're sharing in the profits, you should definitely market. 100%.
No, absolutely. I think audiobook trailers are a great idea. Yeah, I do too. I mean, and you think about just those are like they're commercials for an audiobook.
Yeah.
We love doing that stuff. And I love doing voiceovers for it. The challenge has always been how do you create the visuals, right? And, you create still image visuals, but you still have to have something that creates those. And I think that again, is always the gap that we're trying to figure out. And I do think for a lot of people, they view AI as being able to fill that gap. Do you know what I mean? Because if you are, let's say you are somebody and you don't have a voice and
You are a somebody.
you know what I mean? Or you're a somebody and you don't have a editor, or you don't have a creative, like someone who draws or someone who makes, you know what I mean? And you don't have the money. AI is a solution for those people.
I mean, again, we did the exact same thing with Canva for years. Years.
I think
It's just
people are
gotten more
I think people are
refined.
just. I think people are just mostly upset with people producing things and then claiming it's not AI and it is. You know what I mean? I think that's people. But then I think there's some people who are just angry.
Yeah.
They're just angry.
Yeah, it's kind of weird out there.
Well, because it's scary, right? Because you think it's
Yeah.
going to take all your livelihood away, and it's going to make it's just going to make it. And like I said, as long as we got a breath in our body and there's an open marketplace, we can do it. Mm-hmm. We will figure it out.
That's right.
And we almost paid out $6,000. This month to narrators
That's
and
insane.
authors, right? Yeah. So
Exactly,
I mean,
Jules. You can't make everyone happy, right? And that's one thing you have to remember as a business owner. Period. You can't expect to make 100% of the people you talk to 100% happy, 100% of the time. You just can't. You just can't. You just got to do what feels right to you.
I was going to ask how to mark Chris says I'm going to ask how to market now that I am now narrating for Academy Voices. So yeah, just like we just said, that's the first start. I mean, the first and easiest way besides your website is just start talking about it on your socials. Mm-hmm. Start letting people know. Start posting, pictures of what you're doing. Talk about, I just narrated this audiobook. I mean, there's this one author, literally, he has one, and he has, because he's going through us, so I follow his stuff. I mean, the man he just talks nonstop about all the thoughts he has about his book, all of the research he did, all of the history of he just nonstop. He posts
That's
constantly.
pride right there.
You know what I mean? Right. You know what I mean? And I think that we have to maybe, and that's something I was thinking about myself. I have to try to inspire our voice actors to be more interested or more excited about the work they do in order to promote it.
Yeah.
Because it is their promotion directly reflects upon how much money they make. Well, you guys, we've been here for a while.
A long while. Hey, Freddie's got one last question I think we should take.
One last. Does Academy Voices have a similar setup like ACX? Freddie, it's so funny that you ask that. Because that's what we're doing. At the moment, the answer is no. What it will be, I think it'll be better than ACX after I'm done. Because I'm in the middle of building the website, and I've completed the first phase, rebuilding a new website from scratch. And with everything that we want, we've already held one meeting with open forum meeting, getting feedback and ideas from people. We probably should hold another one. Just because there's going to be a lot of things that we don't. There's a lot of things I don't like about ACX. So we're going to build that into the new one, but the setup is not but what we're still fantastic. You still should be a part of Academy Voices.
Yeah.
I mean, and when you say setup, I think what I mean is what I'm feeling like is the website itself.
Yeah.
That's different than ACX. The website we're building will be similar, but better. Like you'll
Looking
be able
forward to it.
Right, you'll be able to see the voice actors. You'll be able to see the projects in your own dashboard. You'll be able to see all of your sales, track your your books, your audiobooks. You'll be able to message authors. You'll be all the stuff that you can do. Plus, we'll have like I said, we had the checker in there. We've got a lot of different stuff, marketing stuff. Good info. So I mean, yeah. So it's a good. But even right now, it's fantastic. I mean, we have about 450. We're growing now more and more now, faster. So we got like 450 narrators now, and it's just growing and growing. You remember when we had where I was trying to get us to 10 or 12, 15 narrators?
I know. It's crazy.
Yeah.
But there's actually two other questions that I think we should touch on. But Chris wants to know how to get links for the books. Go search for your books on Spotify, all the places that we publish, and grab one. Grab a link. Grab a link where we publish them. And then Roland down below that wanted to know, this is what I did with my laptop. It also had a noisy fan. I just got extra long cables from Amazon and moved the laptop outside or as far away as possible, and then just ran an external monitor, wireless mouse and keyboard, and extra long wires So the noisemaker was as far from my mic as possible. That's what I did. I wouldn't say you have to go out and buy a new computer unless you're looking for a reason to go buy a new computer. But you still
Sometimes I
might
always
have
say
to move
that's
it
a
away
reason.
anyway because
I just
they
gotta
all
buy a
make
new
noise
one.
of some sort. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a wonderful thing. I do the same thing. Like I run where you guys see me are now. This is my editing station, and there is completely detached. It's just a screen, microphone, and then a wireless keyboard and mouse. That's all I had to keep away from all the noise. You know, from the because I have I have monitors out, speakers, I have stuff out here that make noise. So
Yeah.
you can do that with a laptop. You can do that with a PC. Like if you have a PC, just run HDMI, a long HDMI cable to your screen.
Yep.
So, yep, all that works. Awesome, you guys. Well, listen, thank you guys so much for being with us today. I don't know if I'm going to be here tomorrow just because Gabby is still out of town. But I wanted to make sure that we were here today. So I think this was a good one. Yeah. Join Academy Voices if you've not done so yet. I'm thinking the new website will probably, I don't want to give it time because I'm not quite sure, but it's definitely going to be within the next couple of months or less. So that's exciting. Unless something disastrously happens, we're moving along quite well. So
I'm
all
so
right,
excited to see it. I'm so excited to see the new website.
I know I can't wait. I can't wait to show. I haven't had a chance to show you any of it.
No.
I haven't had a chance to show Angela any of it.
Rude.
So it is rude. Well, you're a busy gal.
So rude. Yeah. Well,
We're busy.
So are
people.
you.
Well, we're busy people. It's hard to like sometimes match up when we're busy.
Yeah.
Oh, Angela has class tonight.
Launchpad.
All right, Launchpad is tonight.
Guys, we're doing the What's My Voice breakout sessions. I'm actually working on building out all the character profiles right now, so it's going to be a lot of fun. So make sure, if you're in Launchpad, please come tonight. It'll be fun.
Got to go.
It'll be fun.
So if you're new here, Freddie, because it seems like Freddie's new-ish. Freddie, there's VO Journey Academy, and that's where you come and you join us part at VOjourney.com to learn how to start and grow your voiceover business. We have live classes, courses, an incredible community. It's all there to help you grow your voiceover business and get support. And then so you can join that and be a part of that learning. And we also have then Academy Voices, which is a separate website that is all about, getting work, and publishing,
Audiobook publishing.
audiobook publishing.
Yes.
So those are those two. So we were wondering about Launchpad because sometimes people get them now. They're getting because it's us who are running both. They're like, well, it's
Yeah.
all one, and it kind of is, but it isn't. Right? They are separate.
One's for school and education,
right.
and one is for
That's for making money,
making money.
making moolah.
Moolah.
People keep the questions keep coming. So right
No,
now,
all the subs-
VOJ doesn't have a website.
No, it does. The websites are both still there. Everything is still the same as it is. He's just rebuilding them, or just Academy Voices right now. And
Right
when
now.
that's ready and finished, it will replace the one we have now.
Right. So if it's done right, all that will happen is that you will log in. When you log in, you'll have a couple of prompts and stuff, and then you'll be on the new website. Like you won't notice anything different on the external. Well, you will because I've designed it a little differently. It's similar, but it's way better.
It'll be awesome.
Yes. But yeah, no. With the site everything will remain active, and like oh God, hope. I mean, there should not be. Although
Don't jinx it.
Yeah,
Don't jinx
There
it.
shouldn't be
Don't
any
jinx
like
it.
downtime.
Don't jinx it, Anthony.
I won't. Okay.
Everything's going
Yes.
fabulous.
Absolutely. All right, you guys. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful rest of your day, and we will see you later. Goodbye,
Bye.
everybody. Thank